You know what's crazy is that there's a lot of truth in that. He really was. Dwyane Wade was really good. He's really special.
Dwyane Wade's playstyle was constantly on full throttle. He played every game like his life was on the line, which was a reflection of his childhood. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, Wade was surrounded by drugs, gang culture, and poverty. His mother was a victim of that life. She battled substance abuse and was in and out of jail, leaving Dwyane on his own to figure out how to live in this violent world. But in 1990, he got his lifeline. At 8 years old, Wade's father stepped in, took custody, and moved him into his place in a different part of town, changing the trajectory of his life.
Wow.
In the early 90s, his father introduced him to basketball, and as a Chicago native during this time, Michael Jordan was everything. He was the hero Dwyane wanted to model his game after, and he did a damn good job. By his senior year in high school, Wade was the best player in the state. However, colleges were hesitant to recruit him because of his bad grades. All of them except Marquette. They took a shot on the kid, and despite missing his freshman season due to academic ineligibility, Dwyane put in work off the court and earned the green light for his sophomore season. Right out the gates, D-Wade became one of the best players in the country, despite playing the season with a torn meniscus.
You serious?
So that offseason, he had his left meniscus removed, sacrificing long-term health for a quicker return to the court. A decision that seemed right for now. In 2003, Wade shook the nation, leading Marquette to the Final Four, which skyrocketed his draft stock into the top 10. Yeah, D-Wade was still overlooked, an afterthought, and a draft headlined by generational talents. But whoever lands him is about to hit gold.
With the 5th pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Miami Heat select Dwyane Wade from Marquette University.
Drafted 5th overall, Dwyane Wade was off to Miami, a city where its bright lights and endless beaches masked a franchise searching for a purpose. The Heat had fallen into mediocrity after a decade of early playoff exits. They were desperate for a savior who can electrify the city and lead them to glory. And that hero had fallen right into their lap.
Only been around for
As a rookie, D-Wade took a team that won 25 games the previous season to the playoffs, where we saw flashes of superstardom. In his first postseason game with the clock winding down, he crosses over and floats home the game winner with 1 second left. The Heat, however, would go on to lose in round 2, but that's all Miami had to see. This was the savior they'd been looking for.
Of course.
In fact, they were so confident in the kid that they went all in.
The major headline around the league tonight, the Los Angeles Lakers and Miami Heat have agreed to a trade that will send Shaquille O'Neal, one of the greatest big men of all time, to sunny South Florida.
Hey, they won, and you know what's crazy? They won a championship, but
Miami's two-headed monster bulldozed through the NBA in 2005. Shaq was his dominant self, while D-Wade became one of the elite two-way players in the game. On defense, he had a sixth sense for steals and deflections, and could block shots like a center. While on offense, he was a one-man fast break. No one could stay in front of him, so much so that Shaq nicknamed him the Flash, and the only thing that could slow him down was an injury. Up 3-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals against the defending champions, Wade missed Game 6 due to a strained rib muscle. Detroit won, seized the momentum, and won Game 7 to make it to the finals. Had it not been for the injury, the Heat likely play for a championship. But you can't get caught up in that what-if mentality in this league. It's just the nature of the sport. This had to happen. It was the spark.
2006.
Wade put the league on notice in 2006, leaping up to 27 points a night and leading the Heat to 52 wins as the second seed in their conference. They'd go on to beat his hometown Bulls in 6 in round 1, torch the Nets in 5, and in an Eastern Conference Finals rematch against the 64-win Pistons, the Flash took care of unfinished business. He averaged 26 points on 62% shooting with 5 boards, 5 dimes, and elite defensive play to miraculously make it to the NBA Finals. Bad news, they're facing Dirk Nowitzki right smack in the middle of his prime. And it was a reality check. A 2-0 series deficit right off the rip.
2-0 series.
It seemed like it was all too much too soon for D-Wade, and with Shaq getting double teamed.
I think Dallas was at home the first 2 games. So being up 2-0 doesn't mean the series is over, but like you gotta win the next 2 games in order to extend the series, you know what I mean? So it's pressure. And I think those games, I don't think those games were close. So maybe that's why they were acting like that. Hey, well, they ended up losing 4 straight after that. So I guess D-Wade did something right?
Into oblivion, the Heat looked dead in the water. They needed a spark, a miracle, a savior.
Yeah, and then D-Wade for like the next 4 games.
Miami, Florida, where tonight the
or
city
3 games averaged like
NBA Finals game. But their beloved Heat was in a
35
desperate
or something
situation,
like that.
in need of a win, trailing the Dallas Mavericks 2
That was
games
insane.
to 0. Wade, it's good. 1-point game. To the basket. It's lob, knocked away, and the Miami Heat right back in the NBA Finals. Walker to O'Neal. The NBA Finals are tied at 2 games apiece. Wade pulls up. Bang! Dwyane Wade again.
That's when he really put his name on the notice. That's when he really put his name on the notice. 2006. When they won that championship that year, when they won that championship that year in the finals, and he averaged like 35 in 4 games out of the 6, that's when he really put his name on notice. That's when everybody was like, oh shit. D-Wade's, oh my God, D-Wade's that guy.
Wade looking, pulls up, banks it in, tie game, and Miami wins again to take a 3-2 lead. The NBA season could come to an end tonight. The Miami Heat win, and they're champions. Shot clock. Wade spinning, falling away, it's good. Wade, now, are you going to foul? Terry puts it up, won't go, rebound Wade. The Miami Heat, they've done it. They win their first championship in franchise history.
Still newly known franchise, by the way.
MVP Dwyane Wade.
He's that guy.
In just his 3rd season at 24 years old, D-Wade...
Mind you, if Shaq was slightly younger, right? If Shaq was, like, let's say Shaq was like 4 years younger, right? Which is crazy. But if Shaq was 4 years younger, him and D-Wade might have won more than 1. Him and D-Wade might have been able to win 3. Shit, after 2006, they really could have won more. They just kept getting injured after the fact of this. If they didn't get injured, they probably could have won more. They probably could have won like at least one or 2 more. I think they could have.
Put up 34 points, 7 rebounds,
like
3
35.
assists, 2 steals, and 1 block per game to win the
Basically
championship and the finals
4,
MVP.
3, and 1.
And delivered by Shaq. I mean, look at the numbers this dude put up after going down 2-0.
Mind you, for your first finals. Hold on. I gotta let y'all see this. For your first ever finals, right? 28, 6 and 6, 4 steals, 1 block. Second game, 23, 8, 3, 2 and 1. Third game, 42, 13, 2 and 2. Game 4, 36, 6 and 3, 1 and 1. Game 5, 43, 4, 4 and 3. Game 6, 36, 10, 4 steals, 3 blocks. That is insane. That is insane stuff right there. That's not normal stuff. That's not normal stuff that you see on a given day average. That's not normal, like, at all. Like, and for your 3rd year, and this is your first finals appearance. That's insane.
One of the great finals carry jobs ever. For the first time in his career, Wade wasn't overshadowed. He was the man, and being the 5th pick in the draft just 3 years ago now seems like the steal of the decade. This kid has the potential to become one of the greats.
He was the first one out of luck. LeBron.
But you know what they
Chris
say,
Bosh.
the quicker you rise, the harder you fall.
Carmelo, he was the first one to win a ring. Yeah, it bad things. He got started. Injuries started piling up. Heat struggled after this.
The NBA landscape is an unforgiving beast. Think of it as a carousel. One day you're the greatest player in the world, riding high in the spotlight, praised as the next Michael Jordan. Then things don't go your way, and suddenly the ride spins out of control and throws you off, as it finds any excuse to put someone else in your place. Someone new, someone fresh. D-Wade experienced it firsthand. Chasing a repeat in 2007, Wade dislocated his left shoulder. Miami lost in round 1. He undergoes surgery on both his shoulder and his left knee as the spotlight snaps to another young superstar fresh off a finals appearance. In 2008, Miami cratered with a 15-67 record. They traded Shaq, and with nagging pain to that left knee that's been bothering him since college, Wade was shut down for the second half of the season. And now, just like that, the league had moved on, leaving him in the shadows. So how about a reintroduction on the world's biggest stage? Prior to his rookie season, Dwyane Wade was on that 2004 Olympic roster that suffered one of the greatest meltdowns in USA basketball.
We know why. We know why. We know exactly why, and it's that coach.
History. Fast forward to Beijing in 2008, and Wade had redemption on his mind, both for his country and himself. As part of the USA's Redeem team with the likes of Kobe, LeBron, Carmelo, and Bosh, it was Wade who led the team in scoring to capture the gold medal. An achievement that Dwyane later called the most important moment of his career. It was his reintroduction to the world, and above all, he was finally healthy. Back in the NBA, the Flash was on that type of timing once again. The speed, the pop, the explosive athleticism, it was all back. He won the scoring title, averaging 30 points per game, alongside 5 boards, 7 dimes, 2 steals, and a block in one of the all-time seasons we've seen from a guard. Oh, and he did this too.
Chalmers, Wade with a steal, with 2. Wade puts it up for the win. Yeah, baby! He did it! Dwyane Wade with the steal and the game winner! Do you believe that?
09 D-Wade had me floating. Was he MVP worthy? No. But he did finish third in voting behind LeBron and Kobe.
Hey, hold on, listen. If you look at the stats, he might have been able to win it over these guys. I'm not gonna lie, he might have been able to. He had a better year than Kobe. He had a better year than Kobe. Yeah, he had a better year than Kobe. LeBron, he had a better year than LeBron. He really should have won MVP in 2009. But you know what? Hey.
And third in Defensive Player of the Year voting as well. Wade was at his peak, re-established as one of the top players in the world. The season, however, ended in the first round. And I mean, at this point, another championship was an afterthought. Dwyane was virtually alone. The team was a mix of young and old role players with no sense of identity. And surprisingly, we'd see the same roster in 2010. Coming off a career-defining season, Wade had to suffer another first-round exit with no help around him. Heat fans found it baffling how management wouldn't get their superstar any help. But little did they know that Pat Riley had something cooking behind the scenes. The reinforcements were on their way.
He just went out and got a player that's better than him. And was like, yeah, let's team with someone that's just as good, if not better. And here we go.
Can you feel it? South Florida is electric, knowing the Miami Heat has now secured 3 of the NBA's biggest names to play right here next season.
Tonight, the trio is complete. LeBron James joining Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh to play for the Heat.
Hey, man, that shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. And to think that it almost happened in Chicago? What? And it's not even just Chicago. Like, to think that we would have gotten potentially Carmelo These niggas was out here trying to change things forever. These niggas was really out here trying to win as many rings as possible without a scratch.
The days of having no help in Miami were over. The reigning back-to-back MVP LeBron James and multi-time All-Star Chris Bosh were joining Wade in the 305, creating the most polarizing big three the sport has ever seen. And it was showtime. Lobs, slams, posters, speed, flash, you name it. They were a transition nightmare. They won 58 games and thrashed the East to get to the finals, where Wade would meet the same man whom he stole the title from 6 years ago. The encore, however, fell short. Miami collapsed, losing to Dallas in 6 in one of the all-time finals shockers. Wade played to his usual standard, but the newly acquired king did not. There was a lack of focus and hesitancy in his game. It wasn't caused by bad blood, but rather an underlying tension between Dwyane and LeBron. No one knew whose team it was during that 2011 run. It was a your turn, my turn, evenly sharing the load type of dynamic.
Yeah.
And it led to failure. So Wade took it upon himself to hand over the car keys and take a step back.
Sacrifice.
As he told LeBron, "You're the best player in the world. We'll follow your lead. And most notably, I don't want another scoring title. I'm trying to win." How many other players of Wade's caliber would willingly take a step back and sacrifice everything to let the better player lead them to victory? Wade put his pride to the side. He had no ego. It was all about winning. And over the next 2 seasons, they did a whole lot of it.
Yes, they did. Became back-to-back champs.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Game 1 of the 2012 NBA Finals. What a matchup. The two best teams led by arguably the two best players on the planet.
Chalmers now drives. Nice piece to Wade. Wade finds Bosh. Right.
Wade to drive. Gets another.
Hey, I know we talk about how, like, we're forgetting about D. Wade and, you know, everything like that. Chris Bosh. We ain't gonna ever forget, bro. We ain't gonna ever forget.
The runner is good. And a foul. Chalmers sets, puts it up. That won't go. James rifle pass to Wade. Oh, what a pass. Tries a three. Bang! LeBron James from downtown. Stolen again in the open floor. Wade sidestep. Westbrook backs it in. And a foul.
That's when they really did that. That's when that 2011 season wasn't bad. But 2012, 2013, they was different. They was different.
The American Airlines Arena is hot, and it's where the 2013 NBA Finals begins. Oh, gets in and throws it down. 4 to shoot.
They really should have won 3 championships.
Block from James. Tough assignment. Wade sidesteps. James catches.
But hey,
puts up the three.
2 was enough, you know.
Go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining. James drives. Kicks out Valier for 3. Bang! What a finish. It's back-to-back titles for the Heat.
Yep.
The 2013 NBA Championship resides once again in Miami.
Back-to-back. They won back-to-back.
In 2012, the Heat manhandled a thunderous OKC squad before running it back in 2013 against Duncan and the Spurs to secure back-to-back championships.
And in 2014, they lost
all
5
those
games.
sacrifices
They lost
were
in
absolutely
5 games in
worth
2020.
it. D. Wade is a 3-time champ
Lost in 5
with a
games
legacy
in
that is all but
2014.
cemented. But hold on, a three-peat's on the horizon. In 2014, Miami was back in the NBA
it didn't
Finals,
happen.
facing the Spurs once again with history on their mind. But Wade was bad. Years of injuries and surgeries had finally caught up to him. There was no spring in his step. That legendary speed burst was gone. He was a shell of himself. The result? Miami got smoked in 5 as it marked the end of the Big 3 era in South Beach.
Yeah.
That same offseason, LeBron made his way back home to Cleveland, leaving a crippled Wade to carry the burden in Miami. And even though he didn't have to, Dwyane took an $11 million pay cut to help the Heat rebuild a contender. But it never materialized. Over the next 2 years, Miami's empire collapsed. Wade couldn't carry a team like he once did, and the Heat knew it. Come the 2016 offseason, D-Wade's contract was up, and it was time to re-sign, hoping to finally get compensated after years of pay cuts and being severely underpaid. But no, Pat Riley lowballed him as they prioritized
$10 million
other players over
is
the face
crazy,
of their franchise.
bro.
This is the
Yo, go back.
Prioritized other players over the face of their franchise.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to cook you or not. This was one of the worst mistakes of Pat Riley's career. $50 million, bro. A hobbled D Wade deserved more than bro. I'm sorry. That was crazy, bro. That right there, that was crazy.
This is the same guy who took the Heat from nothing to something to everything, sacrificing money, health, and his body over and over again to win championships for a franchise that just spat in his face. In fact, not once throughout his entire career was D Wade the highest paid player on the Miami.
Wait, what? Hold on, let me. 2004, he was the second highest paid with $2.6 million. Eddie Jones, 12.3. 2005, 2.8. Shaquille O'Neal, 27.6. 2006, $3 million. Shaquille O'Neal, $20 million. 2007, 3.8. Shaq, $20 million. 2008, $13 million. Sean Marion, $16.4 million. 2009, $14.4 million. Jermaine O'Neal, $21.3 million. 2010, $15.7 million. Jermaine O'Neal, $23 million. 2011, $14.2 million. Bosh and LeBron, $14.5. Okay, that's not that much. 2012, $15.6. Okay, $16 million. 2013, $17.1 million. $17.5 million. 2014, $19 million. $18.6 million. 2015, $15 million. $20.6 million. 2016, $20 million. Bosh, $22.1 million. Wow. That's insane, bro.
Miami Heat roster. Did you hear him complain? No, he put his head down and went to work. Wade deserved every single penny, but management didn't think so. They overlooked him. Just days later, Dwyane left the only team he's ever known to sign with his hometown Chicago Bulls.
Crazy word.
He was gone. In his twilight years, D-Wade lived out his childhood dream of playing for the Bulls. A year later, he was off to Cleveland to team up with LeBron one last time before being shipped back to Miami to end his career. In 2019, Dwyane announced that he'd be retiring at the end of the season, setting the stage for a well-deserved farewell tour. And for just a moment in time, D-Wade could soak in the spotlight. He wasn't overshadowed by an injury, a teammate, or a contract dispute. This was all about him, receiving the love and recognition he had waited for his entire career.
Yep. You know, they talk about James Harden, they talk about Allen Iverson, but the third greatest shooting guard in history is Dwyane Wade. Dwyane Wade is the third greatest shooting guard in NBA history. Whether you like it or not, he's the third greatest shooting guard in history. He may not have the flash and finesse of Allen Iverson. He may not have the crazy amount of scoring prowess as James Harden, although he did average 30 in his career before. But he may not be the shooter of James Harden either. But Dwyane Wade had grit. He had heart. You know, he was basically anything that the Miami Heat needed him to be, he was going to do it. Anything the Miami Heat needed him to do, he was going to do it. He was going to sacrifice. He is the ultimate teammate. He did everything he was supposed to do. That's all you can really hope for, you know. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed that video. video. That was another reaction video. This time we're reacting to something different. As always, this is Zola. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.